Hi everyone, welcome to this section. In this section, I will go over the alphabet with you. So on the board right here, I have the alphabet written down. I will say it for you in French. While I do so, at the bottom of the screen, about right here, you will see the pronunciation in English. For example, when I say A for the letter A, you will see AH. That will help you say the word correctly. So I did my best with spelling the pronunciation in English. So let's get started with the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Great job. Now you give it a try. So I will let you say the alphabet and I will wait a couple seconds so you can verify how you said it. As you can see, and as I've mentioned in the earlier lecture, the French alphabet is very similar to the English alphabet. Now you give it a try. I will circle the alphabet from A to Z and I will wait a couple seconds until you will hear my voice with the correct pronunciation. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Bien fait. Good job. And just a reminder, I know I've mentioned it earlier, but I'd like to mention it again. You are able to fast forward or even slow down the course. Therefore, maybe this is something you already know. It's just a beginner. It's just something that I wanted to do at the very beginning to get your confidence up. And it's going to be important as well, especially as you continue on with your progress learning French. Okay, great. Now that you have the alphabet down in order, I will scramble the letters and test you. Let's see how you do. F. Good job. As you can see, it's the same in English. A. Great. E. V. Z. U. E. And for these ones, if you were to read in English, you would say E, right? And then if you would read this in English, you would say I. Here's a little trick. So in French, you would say E, and you would read this E. So the way you read the E in English is actually how you would pronounce the I in French. M, P, H, J, Now, a lot of my first and second grade students, and even some third grade students that I have taught, often get these mixed up. Because in English, we say G and J. But in French, this is J and G. Okay, don't let that fool you. Q. W. C. T. L. All right, I'm going to stop right there. And again, you will have a cheat sheet of the alphabet at the bottom of the course. I have been teaching for several years, and I can honestly say that it is a true passion of mine. Udemy is going to prompt you to review this course, and it is really important that you provide feedback. A 5-star review is really important because it allows us to create content just like this. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact us and our team will get back to you as soon as possible. Again, I am so happy to be here and so proud that you have enrolled in this course. Teaching is something that I'm truly passionate about, and I strongly believe in this course. Hi everyone, welcome to the voice recording section. This section you can choose to look at the screen, but it is not necessary as you really only need to hear my voice. So it could be super useful if maybe you're driving to work or a little preoccupied or just at your own convenience really. So let's focus on introducing yourself to someone and like a little bit of that small talk, like, hi, how are you? Good, thanks. How are you? I'm good. That's always, well, usually the beginning of a conversation. So in French, you would address someone formally or informally. Informally would be to your friends and your family and perhaps people that you're very comfortable with. Formally would be when you want to be really polite. So your elders and your boss. Okay, now, how do we say hi? Bonjour. It's as simple as that. 2 syllables. Bonjour. You can choose to say salut, but that is a little less formal. It's really, really casual and chill. Most of the time, I just say bonjour. If you want to say good morning, you can say bon matin. Bon matin. Okay, so how do you say how are you? Really chill. You could say comment ça va? Comment ça va? So you would say bonjour, comment ça va? This is probably the one I use the most. To be a little more formal, you would say comment vas-tu? Okay, that's not considered really, really formal, but it is a step up from comment ça va? So again, you would say comment vas-tu? When you use tu, it is singular. You're referring to one person. And then if you would say it formally, you would use vous. Okay? So informally, to friends, family, you would say bonjour, comment vas-tu? And then if you're speaking to maybe your boss, someone you really want to be polite to, you would say bonjour, comment allez-vous? So really the main difference and the main focus here is the tu
versus the vous. Vous is plural, and usually it does mean all of you, but in this case, it's just showing a lot of respect. So you meet someone, you say, Bonjour, comment ça va? Or Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Or you would simply say, Bonjour, comment vas-tu? Okay, great. So once you say that, someone would probably respond with Bonjour, ça va bien, merci. Et toi? Or they would say et vous. Okay? Now, if you want to say that, you would say ça va bien, which means it's going well, all is good. Et toi, again, that's informal, which means and you. So you're saying everything's good, I'm doing well, how are you? Or everything's going well, and you? Now, if you want to be formal, you would say et vous. Okay? So to say and you, really you're saying the same thing. You're just asking them in return, how are you doing? But to be informal, you would say et toi. And to be formal, you would say et vous. Again, that shows a lot of respect, super polite. Okay? And a lot of times, maybe once you become closer with someone, at the beginning, you would use et vous. You would use vous when you talk to them. And sometimes they'll say, oh no, please don't worry, just and used to, because maybe they're a little more comfortable and you guys got closer, so it's not necessary to be as formal anymore. All right, so let's give this a shot. You and I will have a conversation. I will leave some gaps to give you some time to think and respond, and then we can see how you did. All right, let's go. Bonjour. Ça va bien, merci. Et toi? Excellent. Okay, now let's give it a go the other way, where you will say hi to me first. Let's give it a try. Let's go. Bonjour, comment vas-tu? Ça va bien, merci. As you can see here, merci means thank you. Great. Now that part's probably something that you can practice with a family member or a close friend. That way you are able to practice simply saying hi and how are you to someone. Well, thank you for listening to the voice recorder, and I hope you continue enjoying the rest of the course.
So now I will show you how to count 1 to 10. I have 1 to 10 written down on the board, and I wrote the words down in French as well. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to count 1 to 10 in French, and then I'm going to have you try it. A little later, like we did with the alphabet, I'm going to scramble the numbers and have you practice again. Now, let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now it's your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bravo. So now what I did was I erased the spelling of the numbers underneath the numbers. I will circle one number at a time, but I'm not going to go in order, and I will have you practice. I will give you a couple seconds, and then I will say the number myself. Set. 9. 4. 1. 3. 10. 2. 6. 8. And my favorite number for last, 5. Great job. Now, let's go a little bit further and let's go from 11 to 20. All right, now that you have 1 through 10 down, let's advance to 11 to 20. Once again, I will count first. I will count 11 to 20, and then I will let you count. After that, I will scramble them up, but not just 11 to 20, 1 to 20. And then you will get some real practice in. So let's get started. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, it's your turn. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. As you can see right here, le 17, there's a 7, okay? You just repeat it, but you add the D, the dis, so it's 17, 18, 19, okay? Okay, now we're gonna practice 1 to 20, but they will be scrambled. Good luck. 13, 2, 5, 10, 17, 20, 4, 18, 19, 1, 11, 6, 3, 8, 9, 15, 7, 17. 12. All right, great job. Now you have the alphabet down and counting 1 to 20. So let's go a little bit further. I will teach you some colors, and you will also get the chance to practice some sentences. I think you're ready for it. Let's go. Behind me, underneath les couleurs, which is colors in French, I have a box. And inside the box, you will see a color. And then I will tell you how to pronounce that color. You will then get to practice, and then I will teach you a little bit of grammar, and we will put some sentences together, and you will start learning some sentences. All right, here we have rouge. Next, we have bleu. Orange. Rose. Vert. Violet. Blanc. Noir. Brun. Jaune. Okay, great. Now, the colors in the boxes will change, and you will get to say the colors on your own. After a couple seconds, I will then tell you the color. Jaune, rouge, noir, violet, bleu, vert, blanc, orange, rose, violet, brun, blanc, rose, excellent. So you're doing so great. So now I thought you're ready for the next step. Let's teach you a sentence. Right here, I wrote the following sentence. Le ciel est bleu. In English, this means the sky is blue. Now, bleu, we already know. It means blue. Le ciel est. The sky is. So, the is a déterminant, okay? Ciel is the noun, which is a no-comer. Et is our verb. Okay? Now, here's something that you will see all the time in French. Ciel, the noun, okay, the nom, always has a gender. So it's either masculin or féminin, which means the déterminant, which comes before it, usually comes before it, has to be the same as well. Therefore, ciel is masculin, which means the déterminant has to be masculin. That's why we say le ciel est bleu. So again, the déterminants that we use in sentences have to be the same gender as the noun. So here, le means the in English, and la means the in English. That's right, they mean the exact same thing. The only difference is this one, le, is masculin and la is féminin. Now, which one do we use? Well, it depends if the noun is masculin or féminin, and that's something you just have to know. The dictionary can help you out with that. Un means a, and une means the same thing. Again, when do we use un and when do we use une? Well, we have to go to the noun. So the noun, which is in French no comer, will always tell you which one to use. Okay, so the next sentence is la pomme est rouge. Now, why did we use la? Because the no comer, pomme, is féminin. So pomme is féminin, which means la, the déterminant, has to be féminin too. E means is, rouge means red. So we have the apple is red. Now let's kick it up a notch and go a little bit further. Now I'm going to have you translate a sentence for me. So I would like you to say, the grass is green. The grass is green. I already taught you how to say the colors. We went over the verb is, and we talked a little bit about the déterminants. Okay, so here I have a little bit of a fill in the blank to help you out. I already put gazon because it wouldn't be fair if I didn't give it to you. So gazon means grass, and I'm going to tell you right now that gazon is masculin. I do have a PDF file that is in this section. Feel free to use that to help you out. Now, let's see how you did. Le. The reason it's le and not la is because gazon is masculin and le is masculin. If you got this so far, you're on the right path. Le gazon est. How do we say green? Vert. You did a great job. Welcome to Days of the Week. I have here on the board Jour de la semaine, which means days of the week. I will teach you how to say the days of the week. You will get to practice, and then together we will build some sentences. I started with dimanche, and that's because in French you simply do. So dimanche and samedi are the weekends, which are Sunday and Saturday. All right, now let's say the days of the week. Dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. So dimanche is Sunday, lundi is Monday, mardi is Tuesday, mercredi is Wednesday, jeudi is Thursday, vendredi is Friday, and samedi is Saturday. All right, now you say it with me. Dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. You are now going to practice by saying some sentences. Now, I will teach you 3 different sentences. I will teach you how to say, today is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. All right, so let's have some fun with that. Now, here are some keywords that you will need to build your sentence. And you will also find these words on the cheat sheet that I have provided. Let's take a look at them together. Aujourd'hui means today. Demain means tomorrow. Hier means yesterday. These are definitely words that we will be needing. The bottom half are the words est, which means is, sera, which means will be, and était, which means was. So you can study this a little bit or use your cheat sheet because you are about to start saying some sentences. Okay, so I challenge you to say, today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. How would you say that? Well, you would say it by aujourd'hui est jeudi. Now, to build our sentence, you can use the PDF file that I have provided, which is kind of like a cheat sheet, or just follow along. So I have aujourd'hui c'est, which means today it's, demain sera, which means tomorrow will be. Then I have hier était, which means yesterday was. So I use these words because we can easily use them with the days of the week in our sentences. So, if today is Monday, how can you complete these 3 sentences? Again, we're going to assume that today is Monday. So, for the first sentence, today it's, we say, aujourd'hui c'est, lundi. Good job if you got it right. And if you didn't, that's okay. We can keep on working. Demain sera. So if today is Monday, tomorrow will be Tuesday. So we would say demain sera mardi. And then we have hier était. So yesterday was Sunday. We would say hier était dimanche. Now, when you write the days of the week in French, as you can see right here, you never put a capital letter unless you would begin a sentence with it. But in English, you would write the days of the week with a capital letter. So if you were questioning that, that's why. Okay, you did a great job. Congratulations. Ta-da! No, don't do that.
Is that what you're doing then to explain them all?
Hold on. Also one thing. Hold on.
Yep. Here, let me change the angle a touch. Okay, and okay.
You did a great job. Now, with some of the PDF files that I have provided, you can continue to practice. For example, you can use the cheat sheet or not use it and try to use these sentences mix and matching the days of the week. Maybe you can do it every morning even. And then you can refer back to this video or back to your cheat sheets to check if you did it correctly. I hope you had some fun learning some basic French. Can't wait to see you next.